such foreshadowing for her.
Yes.
Her character.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
She would
I
not
didn't realize
recognize
the
Seth at
significance
all.
of that. Yes, yes.
But she was so quirky, and she threw everybody off because they just, you know, how you overlook the quirky girl, think she's dumb and ditzy, but she really is plotting to kill you behind your back.
You know who she made me think of? You know the character on Criminal Minds? The woman who was like the computer specialist?
Garcia,
Penelope.
I can't think of her name.
Garcia.
Penelope Garcia.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay, yes, her. Sorry, my bad. Yes, that's what she made me think of. I'm like, you're not gonna put some regular raggedy girl in the front desk of the church.
Right.
She knows something. Yeah, I knew she was gonna come out of her shell. I was waiting. Her relationship
she knew
with
too
men,
much.
Girl, that was the highlight hilarity of the book.
Baby, when Priest came in there, he was like, they better not procreate. I was crying. Like, dang, Priest.
Yes.
He was like, please don't do that to the world.
Yes.
I was like, wow. What was this? Oh, when Manny is asking, I think he asked Lucien. Lucien was trying to help Manny talk to Ari. And many different personalities are like, no, we need the other brother. This one, he's too nerdy. The other one, you know, he might be better help.
Talking bad about him right in his face.
Like, okay, all righty then.
Right in his face. It was like, no, we don't need you.
Yeah. I've always loved Minnie. I'm just telling that from the first book. I love all his personalities. I love that their accents change. I love that he says everything that he's thinking. Like, even though he has 3 different personalities, all of them say exactly how they feel it.
And they talk to each other out loud. That's what I love about it. Because, you know, normally the split personality people, they just appear. They don't recognize the other one.
Yes.
Minnie recognizes all of his personalities, and they actually have conversations with each other.
Yes, and that's what I loved about him. And, Lisa, it speaks to what you mentioned before about foreshadowing and just accepting who you are, every part of who you are.
Right.
And how that makes you stronger, not weaker. Every story.
And that particular scene, before you move, that scene where you were talking about how Lucien was talking to Minnie and how they actually bonded, I saw the way she wrote that scene, Lucien and Minnie had so much in common. When you read later in the story about what actually happened, I'm like, that's why him and Minnie connect. Cool.
Yeah.
Because everybody else is like, oh, I can't deal with Minnie. Especially Priest. Priest can't stand being around him.
This is true. Now,
that
is
so true.
A particular question that I thought was interesting. Why are there so many twins in this organization?
Right.
You got Albany and Brooklyn, who would have both been in the organization if not for the fact that the one sister went to protect the other. You got Lucien and Seth. Then you have Wolf and what's the other one?
Shep.
Shep. You have Wolf and Shep, who are fraternal twins. And I was like, and I have so many questions. So many questions that we, I guess, have to wait to be answered.
Right.
No, I agree. So, what did you think about when our hero and heroine finally come together? When Lucien and Malia are finally face to face. We met all these colorful way of characters. We met our hero with his group of his family, so to speak, and we met Malia with her. Now, what do you think when they finally come together? Let's talk about that scene, Lisa.
Lucien was so cute. I love a nerdy guy, so he was so cute sitting there at the table waiting on her, and he's so polite and sweet compared to Seth, who is so bold and uncaring and say anything and don't care what anybody thinks. Lucien is so proper, and he pulls out the chair for her, and I just love that scene. It was so cute, and it spoke to Malia because that's what she needed in her life. She already had the bad boy, and the bad boy did not do her any good, as they never do. So I was happy that she took to him, and even though she kept saying, "Oh, I just want to be friends," he was like, "Okay, we'll be friends." But he knew all along that he wanted more, and he was going to get her to change her mind. I love that. So, Michelle, what did you think?
So, yeah,
okay,
Michelle,
so we're talking about when they first went out, or the 65% mark in the book when they finally had sex?
No, when they first. I thought we were talking about when they first went out. When he first met her in the bookstore.
Because I won't lie to you, that 65% took a sister a while. I was like, come on. Wondering. I had so many questions. Like, okay, so you know the girl code, the bro code. I guess the bro code is different than your girl code because I thought it was interesting that he was like sneaking around with this woman he know his brother liked and saw first. Well, I guess he says he saw her first, but his brother was the one that talked to her. Right. Lucien saw her first, but Seth was the first to talk to her on the schoolyard that day. Right?
Right.
You're right.
Yes.
You're right.
Yes.
Because that was the first time that she and Lucien met when they were adults. That's the first time they met.
Right. Because she met
the bookstore
Seth first. Right. Because she met Seth on the schoolyard because he was the one that when he looked at the bully said, "You want me to kill him for you?"
Right. But Seth was supposed to be the wingman. He was supposed to be his brother's wingman. He over there touching her hair and telling she pretty and stuff. Well, okay.
Yeah, that was So when they did finally go out, I thought it was cute. I was like, why is he playing games about, I don't want a relationship? You don't accept the invitation if you're not looking for something. I mean, it's all well and good, but I ain't gonna lie. I've never had a man that fine that was just my friend who, if he said, you want to do more dating, and I was like, sure. Like, I think I would have said it really cool, but yeah. I kind of had questions. I'm like, you gonna keep a fine man like this as your friend?
He was just shy because of the ex.
Yeah.
True.
Now I have
but
to
his brother
tell
offered
you.
To.
I'm gonna just say this, Michelle, about this when the hero and the heroine finally come together. I absolutely love that the author took the time to read Angel, who we met all the way back in book 1 in Hawk's book, to weave her so intricately through these stories, through everybody's story, actually. And so it's actually Angel who is orchestrated and Lucien finding this little girl that they fell in love with basically at 9 years old. And so we know from book 1 that Angel was murdered because of a misstep that Hawk made when he was out handling an order, which an order in the church is basically an instruction to kill someone. And he assumed he had cleaned his plate, but he missed something, and it led to Angel's death. But Angel has put all these storylines in motion to help the guys out in this particular family within the church. And so I was happy to see that, and then to learn later Angel's role in Malia's life. Like, that was a huge surprise to me.
Right.
I should have known because I knew what she did from book 1. I just totally forgot.
I have a question for you.
Okay.
So there's a continuing storyline I'm not going to mention on the podcast because it plays directly into some of the secrets at the end of this book. But I think I remember telling Sierra, I think blankety blankety blank, and then I find out that it's true in this book. One of the things I thought was very interesting was I had started to, you know how she got, like, we should mention, the character keeps getting 3 library cards, book cards, in the mail. She gets 3 at a time. And I figured one of them out.
Oh.
Because I had read a couple of the books for one of them. I was like, I know exactly what this is. Because I kept thinking, these have to have something in common. I figured one of them out.
Oh, right.
Michelle.
The only reason I figured it out was because I was like, one of the books in particular has a very strong sense of something happening. And because of that, I figured that one out. And I was like, these are a message. Because at first I was like, oh, crazy Seth is sending her these cards. And then I was like, no, this isn't Seth. This is a message from somebody else. And I never truly believed it was the villain sending her the cards. Never. I knew it was a friend, not a foe.
Yes.
I never thought it was Seth because he's just too outlandish for that.
But it was so crazy. It felt like something he would do.
Yeah, but Seth is so anti-Lucian's fun stuff, like the museum. He's like, so when Lucien and Malia went on their first date, and then the next one he took her to the museum, and Seth's like, where'd he take you? To the museum. You know, like I can hear the sarcasm dripping off his words. Like, I would take you to the bed and rip your drawers off. That's what he was thinking. I know that because I know Seth. And so I was like, no, it wouldn't be Seth writing her about like classic literature and some of these other books that he mentioned. So, read. Right. And of course, Lucien was so in tune with her. If it was him, he would have shared it. So I'm like, no, it's not. It's not them. And then anybody else from the church, I felt like they would have been sending her messages like, Ghostface Killer, because they were going to come and get her. So I knew it was someone, separate from the organization. But when you find out that this order that they've given Seth and Lucien, they give them an order to kill, I'll just say like this terrorist who has killed so many people in the church.
Yes.
And they give it to them. I thought the notes were coming from.
Okay.
Especially when he approached them in the restaurant.
Yes. What did you think about the magic trick with the lighter? I'm gonna start with Michelle on this one. Michelle, what did you think about that?
I knew that it was a distraction,
and
I knew it was saying something about a distraction. Because I'm sorry, if you come up offering a grown ass group, oh, I got a magic trick for you, I'll be telling you to go take your ass somewhere. Excuse my language.
Right. Yeah. I'm not going to sit there and smile at you.
And he was like, I want to do a magic trick. I'm like, this is set up of something. This is a game, and you need to be paying attention to whatever the game is, but this is a distraction. That was my thought, because most magic tricks are games of distraction.
Yes.
So my first assumption was this was a distraction of some kind.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was thinking to myself, so in the book, like I said, Seth and Lucien get this order to kill a man who's eluded the church for years. And not only has he eluded the church, he's actually killed the assassins that the church sent after him. So I thought it was interesting that they picked him at this time, because it's a case that's so complex, because this guy is well connected, he's traveling internationally, so they really have to put a lot of man hours into tracking this guy. And it's just the two of them. This is what I'm thinking to myself. But then when we finally meet this gentleman, and he had every opportunity to kill them both. Malia and Lucien are on a date, and the bad guy appears, like Lisa said. And then when he comes over there, and he's literally intrigued by their relationship, almost as intrigued as our hero and heroine are with one another. Like he sees the connection these two people have for each other. And he comments on watching them. And it didn't seem like it was in a malicious way. It really didn't. And that intrigued me. It told me something different about this character. But then when he actually does the magic trick with the flame, and he ends up taking the watch off Malia's arm, I knew it was targeted at her. I was like, uh-oh, she's in big trouble, and not necessarily from this guy.
Right.
I automatically assumed, as soon as they said that that, and I mean, this was never fully confirmed. This was never confirmed, but as soon as they said he had killed so many members of the church and he was always getting a drop on him, my first thought was somebody at the church is talking.
Yeah.
Somebody at the church is